guys. Hello out there in YouTube land. Listen, I was just watching a few channels, Sue Smith and Hilarious. I didn't get to finish watching hers, but she starts off with Lilibet's baptism in like this little bucket. It's just, that's just so wrong in every which way. Like, it's just, that's what they become. But the sad part about it on the flip side is I was watching the recap of the Real Housewives. My subscribers tell me, listen, you need to go watch this. And I've just been watching it. And she put out one today that made me have to get back on here right now. She was talking about Candace Owens. And I know I mentioned this before, but this is for real. And I mentioned it before in my post that Harry is in an abusive relationship. Abusive. It's not like your regular relationship. Like Candace said, he believes, like she put these thoughts into his head, and then she uses his mother, Diana, as a, I say crutch, but as a, way of messing with Harry's mental health and reminding him and putting thoughts into his head into believing these things. Because I really do believe that Harry is so gone in this abusive relationship. It's abusive. You should let Candace break it down to you. Look it up. Candace Owens. On just look up that. I'm not telling you to like her. She's very controversial. And I'm not a really fan, but she hits it on the mark with Harry. And I said it. He's in an abusive relationship. This is abuse. And the only thing that I find interesting is that how do you pull him out of it though? Like, how do you get him to wake up to realize that, you've been asleep for a few years. You haven't been here. He's a follower. And Candace just said he's not very bright. I think being in an abusive relationship is being manipulated into how Harry is manipulated. His father and his family knows that Harry is no longer Harry. It's like Harry having an out of body experience. This is not Harry, and I said it for the longest time. But Trump called it whooped, like he was, whipped. Like, this is more than that. This is what you would call abuse, because this is not normal that Harry would deliberately attack his family unless he felt like he had a reason to. And Meghan has planted that seed and given him a reason to do it. Meghan is manipulating in every area of her life. And she's manipulated Harry into believing that his family was against her from the start, that they were racist, that, his cottage was small and tiny, that he needed to have more stuff than Harry. Why doesn't he get the titles and why doesn't he get this? She convinced him to do that 5-plan thing and come over here. She the one convinced him to sit on Oprah Winfrey and make a fool out of himself. And that's why I didn't understand. Like, I still will never understand this interview, because you can't tell me that, because I would have saw it. I would have been like, Harry, is this, you sure you want to do this, Harry? Me, the interviewer. I'm Oprah now, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm Oprah. Harry, are you sure you want to do this? Because the things that you're about to say about your family is some serious accusations. This is not going to go down well. Now, what I don't understand is why Oprah didn't understand her audience all the way through. Because when I saw it, my first thought was, why is Oprah doing this? Like, it just felt like betrayal. But the point is that that's who Meghan is. Meghan has convinced these people around her. She has manipulated these people into thinking that she's the damsel in distress. Like, if no one helps me, I'm going to go down. Tyler Perry came to her rescue. Oprah let her do a whole new skit on her television show, on a primetime show, and now the video is missing in action. And, you know, hey, let's talk. Mariah Carey let her in the door. You know, and then she insulted Mariah Carey, talking about, I'm not a diva. Mariah Carey said, yes, you are a diva. You are. I am. Look at me in my hair. I'm always flipping it. But it wasn't a bad word, but she doesn't want to associate that self because she's got to be like this, this, and this. But your true colors is who you say you are by when you speak and how you treat people. And Harry has been manipulated by you, and you want everybody to believe that this was Harry's idea to leave, to protect you from the paparazzi, from the family, from the racism, from suicidal, all that. And she wanted us to believe it. And now receipts are coming out that she's a liar. Arman. I haven't seen her. She used to go on Piers Morgan's show. And I'm confused on why he hasn't had her back on there, because I'm sure she has something to say. Because she was manipulated too. And I think what needs to happen is that these people that have been in Megan's crossfires, they believed her shenanigans. And then come to find out that when they accepted that award, that's when Armani was like, and then when did it come? Something came out. And Armani was like, okay, they did lie. They did. This isn't true. It's not unconscious bias. Like, she said it. And she knows. Because she's over things. She's over the Black Lives Matter movement. She's real. And she put her reputation on the line for these two. So I think Piers Morgan needs to have her back on there so she can tell her story if she wants to. This is just me talking out loud. But I was one of her critics. And then, you know, now she's like, wait a minute. These two are frauds. No, Sonny and Ernest and the rest of them going to keep on with the go on and this false narrative that these two are anything but nasty. And I say these two, it's really Meghan, because I still feel sorry for Harry. I still feel like Harry has been put into a situation that he has no business in, that he is not prepared for, that he is not, he needs counseling for this. He needs counseling for this. I don't know what counselor he's been using in the past, but he needs a new one to deal with this. Because if you can't leave her, if you can't do all this, if you got to get your thoughts back, Harry, and stop dissing your family and thinking it's okay because they did something to her. They didn't do nothing to your wife. Everybody's telling you that. No one threw her to the wolves. No one treated her. And when you heard the conversation about what color the skin was going to be, why did you let her twist it? Knowing that your family, the conversation that they had with you was not about, they were not joking about what color or being insensitive about what color your child was going to be. That, you know that they didn't come across like that. But you allowed her to get on Oprah Winfrey and throw that out there. And the cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, she gives us a history lesson. Megan gives up a history lesson. And I know I said this before, but ain't nothing wrong with repeating it. Megan tells us about the law, about when Charles becomes king, as if she was waiting for something to happen. Who does that? Who talks about stuff that's going to happen in the past after someone is deceased? As if she was, I'm not going to go there because that might be too deep. But the mere fact that she brought it up, stating when her kids were going to get it. When. But they may not. She was setting a stage to tell us that the family was racist. And this is how I know. Because Harry comes back and tell her a regular story that she twists. Just like the the Real Housewives of Recap. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm going to post it in my community. But they have a great clip. And it just goes down each thing that this person has done. This one individual. But she needs a co-conspirator. And Harry and Candace said it. She said he is not Harry. He's not. He hasn't been Harry for a long time. Since he opened the door to meet her in that restaurant, that was the beginning and the end. And whatever she did to get him to slip that ring in 6 months, William was like, hold up, brother, dang. Do you even know her father? Have you even met the dad? Do you know the sister? Do you know the cousin? Because they're going to tell you who she is. I know you ain't just taking her word for it. You would think, him being a royal, that they would give her like a list of stuff of, okay, I want you to do a background check on her. I want to know everything there is to know about her. Since he doesn't trust anyone, remember? He doesn't trust the courtiers. He doesn't, because they're going to leak. Who's leaking what, Harry? No, this woman has convinced you to do some cuckoo-doodle stuff. Cuckoo-doodle, cuckoo-doodle. Some cuckoo-doodle. And snap out of it. I think I said it on my video the other day. I said, is anybody home? Wake up. You know what? I thought Harry was going to get it. I said, Harry's going to get it. This is when he's going to get it, after his book review. No. He thought being in the world's Guineas was something to celebrate. No, I saw his book on the shelf, and I went past somewhere, some bookstore, and I said to myself, I wanted to go in there and say, listen, you need to get this from out in front. This is not something you should be advertising. Like that. Like, could you imagine me going, because I would have, I would have done that. I think I was too busy, but I thought it. That's how I know I would have did it. And said, listen, you need to get this from out in front of your store because you're going to lose some sales. This is not something to advertise. He needs to be ashamed of himself. That's what I would have told that man. So, I don't know. Something about an island that they're trying to go to. Does she really not know what she's doing? Or is she just making this up as she go along? No, she's too strategic. Meghan is too... She gave us a history lesson. But she didn't know anything about the royal families. Let me say that again. I didn't know what curtsy was. I didn't know what that was. And then Fergie come running out. That's what she says. Fergie come running out. Are you, did you get it? And she says, oh gosh, guys. No, get it together. Get your curtsy together and get out there and do it. Like, who the hell does she think? When the whole interview made me sick. Like, I was just like, I didn't even get through it all. That's why I need a new copy. Because I was just so upset watching it. I said, listen to this. That's why I need to get it back. Because there's some other stuff I want to evaluate. No. You can't. Listen, if this was the next door neighbor and Meghan said something about the next door neighbor, then I would be good to go. She goes after one of the most powerful families in the world, in the continent. And so as soon as she opens her mouth, Harry, everybody's listening to every word that comes out of her mouth, because now it becomes important because you're a prince. And how come he doesn't know that? And so if she says something about your family and you go along with it, and then we find out that it's not true, then what? How do they fix that? How do you fix that? Maybe come out with a statement. But you have to admit that something went wrong. And what went wrong is that you lied on the royal family. And you said that they were racist. And you told us that too. And you told Oprah. And you said the reason why they were racist was because they were trying to figure out what color, how dark his skin was going to be, and if that was going to tie into you not getting the titles for the kiddos. But miraculously, what happened is the very thing that she said was going to happen. After Charles becomes king, she tells us this, that they are supposed to get it. However, you can't make those blank accusations and then just continue on this thing. And you know, the crazy part about all of this is that it doesn't end here. She's driving. I told Harry, I said, you're not going to get no sleep. You're not going to ever be able to please this woman. It will be nothing ever you will be able to do in your arsenal. Because there is nothing in your family's arsenal. And they've given her everything. They've allowed her to do whatever, whenever, and however. They allowed her to call them racism for 2 years. And what they said is no, we're not. And instead, this is Harry's comeback. And watch the recap. She shows Harry sitting on there with his dumb self. You stupid. Did Meghan say? Did Meghan say my family was racist? And then it's like he in denial, like that didn't happen. Because before he decided to rehearse that and tell us, because he knew somebody was going to ask. Because he was waiting on it. Because he was doing this before no, that's not what happened. Yes. And Tom, the guy that interviewed him in Africa, him and Meghan, looked at him with his eyes like, yes, you did say your family was racist, Harry. And she said it too. But he wants us to believe that it was unconscious bias. Stop walking stuff back. People lost their credibility. See how they just do damage and then boop, boop, boop. You know what? Kinsley Schofield. Beautiful, beautiful person with integrity. Because she said that she was going to be able to keep her dignity about herself without going along with what the networks wanted her to say about someone. Like People Magazine. Oh, the missing of the kids. Like that's celebrate. No, she called them racist. You forgot a line, people. But since they're paying for the pictures and the exclusive, kudos to you, Kinsley. Listen, bye guys. I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you for all my subscribers. It does blow my mind about Meghan. That's just going to happen. And there's a lot of talk around her right now. And I feel like she's just giving us a lot to talk about. And the main thing is that she called the family racist. And, you know, if I'm going to interview you, if you're going to talk to me, she probably ain't going to come out with one. My first question is that didn't you call the family racist? And have you walked it back yet? And you're probably telling porcupines about your other family too. The ones you're trying to keep a secret. She doesn't want anything from them because they don't have anything to offer. No. Nope. Keep them in the dark. Keep them over there. Don't invite them to the wedding. Don't bring them around. I'm ashamed of them. But you are the one that people are ashamed of. Because if you were going to be our black goddess princess from over here from America, you have failed. And I would have admitted it when I got on the plane. I wouldn't have been blaming other folks. I would have said, listen, guys, I'm sorry. I thought I could do it. I couldn't do it. I'm coming back over here. But I wouldn't have been bashing the family either. Listen, quit saying that people are jealous of that. Because no one wants to be that. No. Ever. I listen. I love my little place. I love my husband. I love my child. I don't want to be none of that associated. Because her and Harry is over here with looking like two idiots. And people are not taking them seriously. But not just that. They are wrong to have treated their family and the institution and the British people with such little respect for their gain.